First time I met him was I was about 10 and I had the opportunity to play him at Barking Snooker Centre. It was a snooker club that I'd started my playing days at, and I just remember my dad saying, well, Alex Higgins is coming down to do an exhibition and there might be an opportunity for you to play him. And I was like, oh yeah, brilliant, you know. And he said, but don't let him touch your cue. Don't let him go nowhere near your cue, because I had an old Burroughs and Watt cue, and it was like a bit of a collector's item, if you like. I remember my dad give a car away for this cue, which I happened to use up until I was about 20. He said, but don't let him nowhere near your cue, because he loves cues. He said, he'll love your cue. And I went, oh, all right. And I just remember holding my cue, and I got this photo of me, Alex Higgins, and another 8, 9 players, and I'm like holding it, thinking, don't let go of it. And I just got a picture of Alex just looking down, looking at the butt of the cue, thinking, that's a nice cue. So I just kind of, that's the first memory I have of Alex. And yeah, and I've got many more. If it wasn't for Alex, I do believe that snooker may not have had the injection that it had, and would have risen as quickly as it did to become as popular as it did in the 80s. And I think if you ask most snooker players, they would all agree that, you know, looking back on it, he was ahead of his time. You know, if he was around now, someone like Barry Hearn and Simon Cowell, they'll be like, you know what, we need this man, because he can take snooker from domestic sport to worldwide sport to people that would normally show no interest in snooker. If Alex Higgins was around today, he'd probably be in the hundreds of millions. You know, he would be your Tiger Woods. He would be, you know, he transcend the sport. So for me, Alex, he was the man that made snooker what it was, along with Steve Davis, because you have to have the good and the bad to have the rivalry. And you know, but that again, it showed that Alex was way ahead of his time. He was, you know, he didn't even know what he was doing, but what he was doing was bringing a sport from nothing to single-handedly making it, you know, for TV people wanting to show it on TV, and for the media to give it the amount of coverage that they give it. And it was, my belief is that Alex had a big part, a massive part to play in it. Alex come a bit before my time, and all I hear is stories about Alex. I've heard loads and loads and loads and loads. But probably the one that I could probably remember more was every time the authorities he come in line for a disciplinary hearing. I always remember them saying that, you know, the press would be there, the media would be there, and you'd have the chairman of World Snooker and Rex Williams there, and this one, and you know they'd be, you know, adamant that they're going to come down hard on Alex Higgins. And I just remember them saying that a waiter come up with 5 bottles of champagne and all cigars and silk ribbons for their bows of their suits, and it was like, you know, this is from Alex just before he was going into a disciplinary hearing. So Alex was great at, you know, working people, if you like, and giving them a reason to not punish him so hard. I just think that was the flamboyance of the man, and the charisma of the man, you know. And you know, Alex has got to be loved for a lot of things he done. You know, you always hear a lot of the bad stuff, I think, about people. It's quite easy for them to latch on and say he done this and he done that, but if you used to tot up the good things he done, it would far outweigh the headbutting and situations and things like that people seem to remember. You know, I'm a fan, and I love him, and you know, he was just a great sportsman.